say the least, I'm absolutely shocked. And for the best reason ever. The Steam Machine might be one of the best announcements ever for gaming within, like, the past, I don't know, maybe decade. Because Steam has always been, like, the backbone of PC gaming. Sure, there are other games that come with their own launchers or stuff like that, like Fortnite with Epic Games, or just some other games that have their own launchers that run on whatever. You get the point. But Steam is how everybody basically plays their games on a PC. You want to play something like Repo? You play it on Steam. You want to play Grand Theft Auto? You play it on Steam. You want to play, I don't know, basically any AAA game that comes out from any studio nowadays, you play it on Steam. Unless it's a PlayStation exclusive, you wait maybe a couple of months, a handful of months, and then it'll be on Steam. But you still get what I'm trying to say. And the fact that Steam is making a what is essentially a console shaped PC that runs Steam up to 4K and is like a fucking tank when it comes to like specs and all that stuff is nothing short of perfect. Now, something that I am curious about is that they're saying that they're not going to treat it like a console. They're going to be treating it like a PC, which I do think is fair to a degree because here's the thing. Here's the real kicker. Cuz yeah, people are going to buy this thing just because, oh, it's going to make gaming nicer and more convenient. I can play my Steam game. I can play games like Repo on my TV and sitting on my couch. Just, stuff that you wouldn't be able to do on a console, right? Even though a lot of games that are on Steam are on a console, you still get my point. You still get what I'm trying to say. Games that are on Steam, you can now play with ease. And for streamers as well, this saves so much just space, storage, like stuff being used up on your PC all at once. I know so many friends of mine who don't have like super high-end PCs or PCs even. I know people that are running stuff off of gaming laptops. And, as time goes on, they're starting to lose their oomph a bit. You know what I mean? Like, they're starting to age, they're starting to deteriorate. And if all they genuinely really need is just a capture card, and then they can just run like OBS to just stream everything, that's genuinely perfect. I have a friend. I have a few friends who are in this situation. When this thing was announced, they were the first people I thought of. I have a buddy who lives up in Canada, and he just has a gaming laptop that honestly feels like it's kind of on its last legs, and he wants to play like bigger games, stuff like the Silent Hill games, or even like the Metal Gear Solid games, some of the newer ones, right? But his no way is his laptop going to be able to handle it. So with this will allow him to do it. My biggest concern, though, is going to be the price of this damn thing. Because I can see this thing being priced really high. I can see this thing costing more than a PS5, an Xbox Series X or S, and a Nintendo Switch 2. With or without the Mario Kart bundle. I can genuinely see this thing's price being up there. Maybe even up there with what the ROG Ally is speculated to be at, like 800 to 1,000, which, I mean, in theory, it's like, yeah, it'll be worth it. It'll be even more worth it if you can switch out parts and stuff like that, like to upgrade them over time. Not that I think you'd need it for a while, just because this thing, from what I've heard and from what I've like been told and looked at myself, is kind of a fucking unit. But that price may hurt because, I mean, the whole reason why they have these laptops or PCs that may not be the most up to date, to say the least, is because they can't afford some of these bigger pieces or a gaming PC like that. So, if the solution is just another expensive purchase, how how much convincing and saving up is it going to be for people like my friends up in Canada and stuff like that. I'm genuinely hoping that it. I don't want it to be anywhere over 800. I genuinely don't. Because for people around the world that don't live in America, that's like ranging from $1,000 plus. Because our the American dollar is pretty alright, pretty good, honestly, all things considered. Like the new video games for them, modern day video games that are priced at like $70 a pop now, right? They're looking upwards of like 90. And add tax, and you're basically paying $100 for a single video game, which is absurd, by the way. And that's not that's a whole other issue to delve into. That I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm wearing a Chainsaw Man shirt slouched over in my brand new chair, wearing shades, recording this off of a bad camera, but it kind of helps the vibe. So that's not anything I'm gonna be talking about. But regardless, I'm honestly like knocking on wood for this thing. I'm hoping that it is able to help out my friends in in need of something like this, because genuinely it's not even like, going back to everything I was saying, it's not even the fact that like, oh, they have to their computer has to handle OBS on top of streaming. It's the fact that their computer has to handle the game in the first place. Screw the idea of streaming. They can't even properly play the games because their PCs are just not, or PCs, their laptops, or even PCs are just not strong enough to. Unfortunately, not everybody has the money to spend like that, or just the ability to even spend. I'm repeating myself. I thought that I was going to be able to differentiate that a little more, but it's not. I guess not. It's fine. But yeah, honestly, this whole everything is amazing. Honestly, everything they announced that night was top tier. The Steam Machine, the new VR headset. There was one more thing. I forget what it was. I don't think it was a controller. I think, or no, I think it. No, it was a controller. I think it was the Steam Machine, the controller, and then the new VR headset. Which honestly, out of everything, that piques my interest the most. That new VR headset, just because like a VR headset to play video games is really cool. Obviously, like that was not something anybody had to like put up for debate. And yeah, there are like other ones out there, like the Oculus or whatever. I don't even know what the best one is, but I mean, if Steam is making one that works for their games, which is the only way I'm playing any VR games, honestly, sign me up. Sign me up. That, cause oh god, that'd be such an insane purchase. It's more of a luxury purchase than anything, and stuff like that. But still, it's cool. So yeah, knock on wood. I'm staying hopeful that this Steam Machine will prove to be genuinely good. Like it'll be good no matter what. I'm just hoping that the price isn't like too detrimental for people, cuz let me tell you, the price tag of things nowadays are starting to